Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. That's a Halloween special intro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see our Halloween costumes that we're wearing tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're full Halloweened out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you tonight?
To me, I'm bringing it back. I'm kind of like trying to bring bass fishing to the masses. So I've gone old school.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, I'm an old school bass fisherman.
You went old school.
I went old school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good costume.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. This is Stray Cats Outdoor Cartoon Television. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. It is Wednesday night. We are live right here, right now. The glorified version of a bass fishing talk show. Not of a pellet gun, but of a bass fishing talk show. This is Outdoor Cartoon Television. Right here, right now. We had a little game change early in the week. Our buddy Dave Mercer was going to come on the show, and Dave is going through a few things right now and in a little bit of pain. So we hope that Dave feels better soon, and we wish him a speedy recovery. But we called an audible, and we got the one, the only Ronnie Moore coming in tonight. Yes, old Ronnie Moore.
The crowd's a little behind tonight.
Hey,
Hey, there they are.
There they are.
They've been drinking Fireball.
Yes. What is wrong with my chair? I'm having chair issue. Ooh, chair issues. There we go. Much better.
You're getting low on hydraulic fluid.
I did get low. This guy over here who's filling up my hydraulic fluid, he is the one and the only. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
He said he's filling my hydraulic fluid. What the hell is wrong with you guys? Trying popcorn Whitaker. What do you want to play Fireball again?
For all
The heck is wrong with
your
you?
hydraulic fluid needs.
Yeah.
I am here.
Very good, thank you. You really own that seat. You commanded that. You're commanding your performance.
I am commanding
right now,
my
Mr.
seat.
Whitaker. Yes, you are.
As usual.
Hey, you know who's the god of hellfire? You know who's the king of the nighttime world? I do. It's JP High, the hip hop fisherman.
I knew that.
Yeah. We're bringing it. We're bringing it.
He just got turned on to Fireball.
Fireball.
Yes. The Pitbull song we're talking about.
I
not
can't
the
do that
liquor.
guy's voice. He commands that
He
voice.
did, yeah. He did kind of own it. Stand up and shout, JP High.
Yeah.
Stand up and shout.
What up, everyone? What up?
There he is. It's Wednesday night. It's Stray Cats. It's JP High. JP, you want to do the show? Can I just leave?
No. No, you can't. Not ready for that. No.
There he is. It's JP High, the OG hip-hop fisherman. Yes, sirree, Bob. Hey, do you know who produces the hell out of this show?
I do.
Every damn time we're on the air,
Yes.
he's red.
He's
on
red.
the head, like a producer. It's him. It's Andrew Ellenberger, the Ginger Ninja. Chaw! 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 Andrew Ellenberger, the Ginger Ninja. Hi, Andy. How you doing? Ronnie Moore's coming on tonight. Are you pretty excited? How many songs can you guys think of with the word "more" in it? We had a few on our social Insta media today.
The word more.
Yeah. In the midnight hour,
yeah,
she
you got the
cried
Billy
more,
Idol.
more,
Rebel
more.
Yell.
Yeah. And then there was the Britney Spears song.
Give me some more.
Give
Yeah.
me more, give me more, give me. I have a daughter, dude. What's wrong with you? So do you. Get ready, buddy. Get ready. You got two daughters. Yeah. You're going to know. It started with
Hit me,
Barney.
baby, one more time.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Yeah.
No more, Aerosmith.
Yep.
Guys, rest of the room. Anyone?
Band names, Faith No More.
Faith No More.
Yeah, good band.
Yes. Anything with more?
More Fireball. Dun, 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 dun.
That's JP. It's more Fireball.
That's a song he just made up.
Andy, it's your favorite song ever. It has the word "more" in it. Yeah. Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas. There it is.
Yeah.
Right there. Hey, you want to give stuff away tonight, guys? You want to do stuff like that?
Let's give stuff away to guys.
A way to give away to
Or
stuff
girls.
to anybody
ladies.
listening. That was very Chicago of me. Did you hear my Chicago Ellender come out sometimes?
What
It
was
happens
it?
during Bears games.
It's a hard A.
It happens during Bears games.
It's a hard A.
Quite Trubisky, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Trubisky's.
Yeah, mispronouncing the name is also very Chicago.
That's very Chicago.
Love that
Yeah.
Trubinsky.
You're going to the Goldblatts to see the Trubisky autograph signing. Some people get that, some people don't. But let's give stuff away. So tonight, let's give away a Stray Cast fun pouch. You want to do that? A Stray Cast fun pouch consists of what?
Well, a lock of your hair.
Yeah, they don't want that.
No, that's not fun.
Some D-bombs. Just a little bit ripped at the top. There's a little ripped at the top so you can still get an EWG, but not a straight shank in them. You know what I mean?
Spinnerbait with one blade.
Yes, missing
Yes.
bottom blade of a spinnerbait. Yep. It's a War Eagle that caught 136 fish. You get that.
I got a lot of rods missing guides.
Missing guide rods.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, what we're going to
it'll
do
be
is
good
we're going to
stuff.
throw in a little bit from each one of our sponsors and get you a $50 Straight Cast Fun Pack pouch. Nicole Dorr, Bass Fishing Supermodel, is going to give that away at the end of the show. And, I mean, that's it. All you got to do, it's real easy. You like and share the live Facebook feed. Boom. Like and share the live Facebook feed. You have an opportunity to win a prize pack consisting of a little bit of this and a
Pack?
little bit
I thought
of
it was
that.
a pouch.
It's a pouch
Is it
and
not
a
a
pack
pouch
and a
anymore?
pouch. So you got some Dem Jig in there. You got some Bavarni, some TH. It's
Yeah.
TSA approved. Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
You got what else we got? The power pole.
Oh yeah,
stuff?
a couple.
Not
We're
a
gonna throw
whole
a couple power
pole.
poles into that.
Not a whole
pouch,
power pole.
into
you
that
know.
fanny pack. Yeah.
But a little contribution pack. A little contribution pack. But hey, I want to say before we go to break and bring Ronnie Moore on, Megan GE, you are in our thoughts and our prayers. We love you. Hang in there. Peace. Put the power poles down. We'll be right back.
Step up your game. It has been said that professionals are only as good as the tools they work with, and Alpha Angler has developed the ultimate set of tools for you, the competitive angler. Alpha Angler custom rods, brought to fruition by the passion of master craftsman Jake Boomer and 2017 BASS Angler of the Year Brandon Palaniuk. Alpha Angler rods are custom made in the USA. Designed and engineered to be perfect, Alpha Angler utilizes a very unconventional approach to making the very best bass rods, from drop shotting to flipping. Alpha Angler's focus is on building perfectly balanced tournament-grade bass rods at an affordable price. Join the Alphalution today and purchase direct at alphaangler.com. Step up your game. alphaangler.com.
Hey guys, Micah Frazier here. I've got a bait from War Eagle Baits called the Buzz Toad. Big thing lately has been putting a toad style bait on a buzz bait, and preferably it's my favorite way to fish one. This bait here's got a quick planing head, a great hook, and it squeals right out of the package. The body of this bait is big and bulky, so it allows you to skip it. It planes quicker than a skirted bait would. In my opinion, it's just the way to fish a buzz bait. So y'all check this thing out. It's pretty awesome.
Taming the beast isn't easy, but the bigger your electronics, the more you have on the line. In conditions like this, you need the KVD Kong Extreme Electronics Mount. The only electronics mount designed and built to be rock solid, no movement, no matter how heavy your gear. A marine grade mount for fresh or salt water that's monstrously strong. The KVD Kong Extreme Electronics Mount.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Come on. Double tap those power poles. We're going to go for a ride. A little bit of riding right now with our bud. He's making his this is his sophomore appearance
Yes.
on the Stray Cats Outdoor Cartoon Television Show. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, my friend Ronnie Moore. Yes. Yes. What's up, Ronnie?
What's going on?
Give me an internet high five, dude.
I'll give you a high five.
Boom. That's
Did you
how-
look at my elbow?
What happened? I can't see it.
No. Okay, because if you look at my elbow, we'll never miss a high five.
That's right.
Yeah, we learned about that from you. I think that was a great lead-in. I didn't even think of that at the beginning. Your high five rivaled Ryan Seacrest and the Blind Kid. I forgot all about that.
Yes. Yeah, we are. That was a rookie mistake last year on the Bassmaster Elite Series live show. It is what it is, though.
Wow, and I swear to you that was not intentional. We did discuss that last time you were on the show, but actually, I think, Ronnie, that you bring that up. It was a viewer question.
Zarkmona.
That is right.
I remember. That's Zarkmona. He just has a good time no matter where he's at. He would refer to it as a TIME, but it's a good time.
Dude, speaking of a good time, man, you're having the time of your life, aren't you, Ronnie Moore? Life's good, isn't it?
I am. Life is good, I've taken a new attitude, not over the last month or two, but just in general this whole year. I feel great overall as a human. That sounds weird saying that, but you get caught up in the comparison. That's what America is, comparing yourself to someone else. If you're doing a good job, why are they getting things that I'm not getting? People do that all the time, and it happens in fishing, it happens in media, everything. And so I've actually taken a different approach to it this year, and it's more of if someone gets something for doing good, I'm going to try to do better, not to outdo them. I'm not wishing bad on folks for them to fail or not succeed, but just for me to elevate that much higher to where, they can reap the benefits of what they do and their hard work, but I can do and just take it to a whole nother level.
That's a great way to look. Yeah, it's a great way to look at life. I mean, it motivates you as an individual for that next level. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, because I think lately everyone wants to say this is going to help fishing and whatnot, but I think that mindset.
We're going to grow the sport. We're going to grow the sport, sir.
Will help fishing a lot. I think that as a whole, I love bass fishing no matter what it is. So if you're always wishing for someone to do well, but you to do better, then we're never going to have a failure. It's not like you're hoping they fail and that part of fishing takes a decline or something. I want everybody to succeed, but I just want to be as best as I can be every day, which is cool. Something to wake up and work on every day.
Absolutely, man. And you
crushed it on Bass Live today, by the way.
That's Ronnie Moore, dude.
Listened all day.
It's Ronnie Moore.
Great.
I appreciate it.
Got a lot of work done. Yeah.
How long have you been with BASS, actually?
This is the end of my 5th season.
Yeah, because I remember reading articles from you, what would it be like back in, I don't know, geez.
2014.
Right, I was going to say 14. I'm a bad mather, so I wanted to catch myself. But yeah, it was on, you did an article on, I think it was Chattooga or something.
Yeah, I actually did. See, what was cool, people don't know this, and I should say this more often, but I do it when I talk to high school kids at meetings or whenever I get the chance to talk to people. I used to write story recaps and put a GoPro video of it and send it into the blog. No one utilizes the blog in college in the opens. It's a free thing. Send your photos in and it gets on the website. So I was like, how do I get on the Bassmaster.com? That everyone wants to be on the website. So I would send in
that's awesome
a story and video after the event. And, I'd be the only one on the blog, but it was a way of me being able to post a link up on my Facebook or whatever as a kid. And so to be able to get that opportunity when I was a junior in college, and it's weird saying I'm at the end of my 5th year.
I thought so, man.
Years that's super cool.
Yeah. See, and now you're in the JM studios, dude, in Little Rock. How awesome is that? From blogger to corporate office. Hold on a minute. Hold on a second here.
Exactly.
That happened, Ronnie.
I lived in Little Rock either. I used to visit to do the college TV shows and whatnot, and I was like, it's not bad for like a weekend or a long weekend, And then I was like, it's not like I'm gonna move to New Orleans or Chicago, or like I was like Little Rock, but I love it. I don't want to move. Like it's cool. There's beyond work, I've found a community of folks that are like-minded, like, of what I believe in and where I'm at in my life, which is cool.
So that's great that you said that, where you're at in your life. We all have a catalyst in life, right? I mean, there's certain events or situations or maybe even thoughts that may be a turning point in anyone's life. I think you and I were talking earlier, you never saw the movie Waiting, where it's a bunch of waiters, and like the Dick Game was the catalyst in that restaurant. So you'd have to see it in order for it to completely get it. The old Batwing, the old Batwing game.
Sure.
But anyway, there's a catalyst in everyone's life. And my question to you is, Ronnie, is what was the catalyst for you at BASS? So that leap, that change where you went from the one level to the next, because let's face it, like in the last year and a half, America has got to know Ronnie more.
Well, for one, that's cool and weird, and it's like it's cool because I don't know. People talk about their high school reunions, like, oh, I got my 10-year reunion coming up or something, and I don't even think about that stuff. But like in 3 years, I will go. That'll be my 10-year high school reunion, and you're like, I wonder how people thought of me in 2011 when I graduated high school, and where they'll see me in 2021 if none of them know me, or if they're like, wow, Ronnie, I saw him on ESPN the other day and I couldn't believe it was the same Ronnie, or whatever the case may be. But my catalyst, I think it was more of a mindset. It was a fill the need, fill a void. I feel like all the great organizations, no matter if it's fishing, if it's business, stock market, food chains, whatever, there's always a point where this awesome restaurant in town had more business than they had workers or waiters. And to go with your analogy of like, there's a point where a restaurant has too much business for the amount of people working. So you either get behind and you deter customers from coming in because you're always too busy, or you just find another gear within you to just do more than you're expected, knowing that in the back end, it'll all be returned to you, whether it's a promotion, whether it's reputation, no matter what it is, but just doing more than what your job title says, knowing that that's just a temporary moment in time and that you can set your future off on a high projectile if you just do what needs to be done in the short term.
Nice.
And that's super philosophical for a 25-year-old, but...
Did you just come up with that, or is this like something that you may have thought about before?
I talk 24 hours a day, so I probably said this whole spiel 5 times before to my wife or whatever, but no, you don't see that anymore, and it's almost not working for free. But there's a guy that I pay attention to a lot, and he's an entrepreneur, motivational speaker. He's in all kinds of things, but Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, he said a phrase about a year and a half ago, and I started listening to him about almost working for free. No one's willing to work for free anymore, when back in the day, everyone sought after the unpaid internship with the awesome company because it was a foot in the door. Right. Now everyone wants that foot in the door, but they want to name their price on like, I need to graduate high school or I need to graduate college, and I better be making this amount of money. Otherwise, I'm going to be looked down in society. Instead of working for less now, and you'll make more the rest of your life than not producing for what they're paying you for, and they're not finding the ratio of, what you come through with what they're investing in you. So, I think that people don't bet on themselves enough. They want the money or the stature to fulfill a short-term goal. Right. Whereas if they bet on
instant
their
gratification,
they would be good in the long run.
Yeah, you got to prove your worth.
Yeah, and I'm in it for the long run. Like, I'm 25 and I see the industry the way it is, and I'm like, cool, I can't wait for the next 30 years.
And awesome. Talk about talking. Me, Ryan, and the Ginger Ninja, we were driving down to the Forest Wood Cup this summer, and we were talking to you on our drive. And when we hung up, I looked at the thing. I'm like, do you realize we were talking to Ronnie for 2 hours and 45 minutes?
we were still on point number 1.
Like, how does that even happen? And Ryan's like, there's a guy that talks more than you. And I'm like, all right, thank you.
I said you met your match.
You met my match, yes.
That was the most equal conversation that Pat's had I've ever heard.
Well, when Mark Jeffries gets in the room,
That's a compliment, though.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't come visit with y'all. We had already gotten all of our stuff out for the week.
We
right
did
there.
a show of our own already. So what's going on with the bracket, man? Talk about this bracket. A lot of people are confused, actually, about what this is.
Well, there's a much different twist than last year. Last year was a lot fewer anglers, a lot more simplistic goal. But because the Chesapeake Bay Elite Series event was canceled due to all the high water and the flooding just before the end of the Elite Series season, we decided to make the bracket into 16 people instead of 8. So we invited 16 people below that, not final, but basically final number. That just so happened to fall in 36th place was the Angler of the Year spot. We invited 16 down from that. If there was any double qualifiers in between, they got bounced down to one more person below that. So 16 people were supposed to compete day one, which was Tuesday. That was just your seeding day. Everyone competed full field, normal day. Everybody goes out, catches their best 5 fish. We brought them in, did a normal weigh-in. That was just for seeding. So Fred Rumbanis had the most weight, 16 pounds. That means he is Duke basketball, and he's the number 1 seed overall, whatever the case may be. So he's number 1. Unfortunately, out of the 15 guys that fished, 3 of them got cut, but we have our 12-person field. So the way that it works from now is today was part 1 of the semifinals. Normally semifinals is 4 people. Our semifinals is going to be 12 because the 16-person bracket turns into 3 classic spots, not just one final winner. There will be 3 winners.
Gotcha.
So 12 people competed today in 6 different brackets, 6 different matchups. They fished 3 hours in the morning, 3 matchups, fished 3 hours this morning, and 3 more matchups, went out and fished 3 hours this evening. We got to watch every angler competing on live because we had 6 cameras out there, so everybody was covered. They'll flip it and do it tomorrow. So the guys who fished and ended live today will be the ones we start with tomorrow, and they'll get to experience the morning bite at Carter's Lake. And the guys who competed this morning will fish tomorrow afternoon. So each bracket pairing gets a dose of the morning and the evening bite. Gotcha. All the conditions are the same for them. We're not trying to compare people on different weights. So the way you're going to advance is the best 10 fish maximum. For the guys who caught limits, they are a couple steps ahead of everybody else they competing against that maybe caught 2 fish. Because the most that those people who caught 2 fish can catch tomorrow is 5. So your 5 tomorrow better be better than a 10-pound bag. You better get some kickers to try to make up that you didn't get a limit today.
Gotcha.
And after it's all said and done, your matchup, the best weight between you and the other person, you'll advance if you have the higher weight, and it'll be 6 people, and then 3 of those people after Friday will go to the Classic.
Now, who thought of that? Who actually thought of this? Do you know?
I know a lot of people in our Birmingham office. They're the, Bruce Aiken, Dave Preck, Chase Anderson, all of the, Trip Weldon's in Birmingham. All those people kind of got together. We did our bracket of 8 last year in a similar format where to get from 8 to let me see what it was. It was like from 8 to 4. They did the same thing where they fished in the morning and then fished in the afternoon, 2 separate days, because it was still a 4-day bracket. So they fished morning, afternoon, made a cut. 4 people left on day 3. They fished all day, made a cut. Final 2 fished on the final day, and that's how we decided that Jacob Prosnick won. So this week, it'll just be 6 people on the final day. We'll see them all covered, and they'll only be going against 1 person. So what's cool is after tomorrow, the 12-person field, where there's a 3 in 12-person shot of making the Classic tomorrow, it'll be a 3 out of 6. So it's going to be like you only got to beat 1 person. There's 6 people competing, but you beat 1 person, you're going to the Classic.
Good odds.
Yeah, we'll take
exactly. You'd be.
Take it.
I think I'd fish in a mud puddle that was 3 inches deep for a Classic shot with those odds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Ronnie, did anyone catch a limit today?
JP was right.
Yeah, he was right. He had him off. Say it again, JP.
Ronnie,
Say that again?
Did anyone catch a limit today? I only caught the afternoon match. And
Yes. Fred Rumbanis, Greg Vinson both caught limits. Gerald Swindle's 3 this afternoon, only 3 fish, was tied for the biggest weight. So
Wow.
Rumbanis had a limit for almost 7 pounds, and Swindle had 3 fish for almost 7 pounds. People will look at it, oh, it's a bad fishery. You're fishing for 3 hours on a place that you got 1 day of practice. So technically, this is their 3rd day of practice. Tomorrow is basically like day 1 of an elite event. They've gotten some time on the fishery. They've learned whatnot. And it's also tough. It's the fall turnover time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the water. They're going to be, it's the deepest man-made lake east of the Mississippi, 400
feet
deep.
It's crazy.
So you think your fish moved in a 20-foot deep lake from here to there. Well, they went from here to way down there.
To the abyss.
And then they just don't
It is
bite.
what it is, but
Ronnie, here's a good word for live. Abyss. Carter's Lake, it's an abyss of a lake.
I'll have to do that.
Yeah,
it's
you can
not
use that.
Swindle flipped a bait out today. I'm not going to say specifically. I don't know who's watching. I'm not going to give away. But flipped a bait out today, and he's like, "Okay, it's on the bottom. Wait, no, it's not. It's still dropping. It's still dropping. It's still okay. Now it's on the bottom. Nope, that wasn't the bottom. Okay, now it's on the bottom. So he was counting it down for a while.
Now, and it's not that big of a lake, so those afternoon guys had a big disadvantage. I mean, they're fishing spots.
Recirc.
Yeah, those guys fish
Sloppy
in the morning.
seconds.
Used water.
See, and that's what's like. It's 3,000 acres and change, but there's 60-something miles of shoreline. I think Chris Lane's the only one doing donuts around the whole lake on the shoreline. But I would say that not a lot of fish same water, because we saw day 1 of action on Tuesday, and on the map, there might have been guys fishing within a couple hundred yards of each other. But when one's over 80 foot dropping down on 5 or 6 spotted bass on his graph, and one's over there and maybe 60 foot dropping down on fish, those are 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
So they're not even the same spot. They might be close, but I'd say I haven't actually seen someone like that's the same exact spot, other than maybe some of those shallow spots where you can tell for sure. But on the map, because you guys can watch Bass Track and you can watch Bass Live, we show you some of the map there, but on Bass Track, there's no map. So you don't know every minute. But on the private version that I can see, when we're sitting there looking at where everybody's at, I can see exactly that they're, how spread out they are or how close they are.
Hey, wait, I think we're getting a phone call, Ronnie, in here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I want to see. Let's see who this is. No idea who it could be. Hello?
Got her.
Hello?
Yes. Yeah.
It's Rojas again. It's Rojas crank calling us again. He's so excited about the BPT. He keeps cranking us and hanging up. I don't know what the heck is going on.
Bluetooth audio or something mid fish catch right there. I like it. Night fishing.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Or it might be daylight in Arizona time. I don't know. I don't know.
They're on Pacific Central Eastern time. So who knows what time it is there exactly.
They have light all the time.
But sorry about that. Rojas, every show he keeps calling in ever since the big announcement.
Just a lot of heavy breathing.
Yeah, it's awkward. But we've learned.
I'm glad that you didn't make me guess, because I would have guessed that was Dave Lefebvre in the classic bracket last year.
We have a game like this, but since you're doing this interview from a church, we didn't feel it was appropriate to play. So.
Well, I actually am, but the door is shut.
Okay, good. All right, guys, it's back on. All right.
I'll just nod my head if someone's in the room.
That Lefebvre catch was awesome.
Hey, Ronnie, do you remember? How old are you, Ronnie, by the way?
25.
25. So you may know of this. You were probably an infant when it was going on, but Bass used to have a format where it was a hole format. Remember that? Where they would fish different holes. What, Ryan? You would know what year that is. What
Majors? It was
or the majors, yeah.
It was right at the start of the Elite Series, wasn't it? 2006,
so
2007.
Was it that close?
I believe so.
Wow.
I think it was the first
around
2
the
years.
first 2 or 3 years. They were still doing the Bush Shootout at the end of the year. They had the Elite Series field or the regular season, and then they had like three majors and like a couple of those random, not random, but a couple of those different type events.
Yeah, and Peter T just took all the money
he did. Yeah. On his little mojo fluke with the fluke. Exactly. What do you think of a format like that, or some different type of additional format being brought to bass?
Well, I've thought about the Bush Shootout. they used to have that. It was for I don't know if it's 10 or 12, what the specific field size was, but when they used to have like 10 or 11 regular season events, but it was based off of the biggest bags of the year. So everyone who caught the heavyweight bags, we had Amistad, Rayburn, those biggest bags would punch your ticket to Rayburn or to the Bush Shootout. So at the end of the year, if you were on a slugfest fishery, you were looking at the event, but you were also looking at hopefully no one busts my bag because I'm on the bubble of making it.
Right.
It was
cool event. I thought of one that would be cool was maybe all the winners from the year.
Each
you
derby.
got 9 events. You could even take the classic and bump it in there. There's 10 events. You could, if you
like
want
a home run derby.
Opens too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just take it where it's just the winners of the season, and you go and you just, you see how it translates, whether it really matters that someone won the Sabine with 37, 50 pounds, whatever it is, or someone who almost hit 100,
right?
At Rayburn or St. Lawrence, and see how on a fishery
that's
this
a good
time
idea.
of year. I think that's what's cool is that,
it'd be awesome.
People might not like how tough it is at Carter's, but we fish from the pre-spawn to the fall. And so we get some of those times where it's on fire and some of those times where it's tough.
Sure.
I like to see fishing into the fall because that is what happens. You go out there and you fish a bunch of different baits on a bunch of different places, and it's not that easy. So I think an event in the year, maybe an early winter event like that or something would be cool.
And Rick Clunn will win.
I love
maybe
those
I
tough
can get in
events.
on it with Zona and Mercer. Like, I don't know. We all just get in there.
See what I'm
Another kind of
saying?
bracket.
Media, straight cast guys, of course.
Those tough events, though, they're some of my favorites. I mean, the ones where fish catches are few and far between, because it's like in baseball, like a pitcher's duel. Not everybody likes them, but I love those too. But in the tough fishing events, it's like every fish catch is insane. Even when
means a lot. Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I jumped out of my
exactly.
seat
I was
when
about to say, Three Rivers is one of the most
someone caught a
favorite
1 pounder
events.
today.
Yeah, it meant so much. Look at Aaron. That was the first real time we saw him cry, I think. Was
Pittsburgh,
at that event.
But like Ryan's saying, Adrian Avena today set the hook and had a fish, and it was hung up in a brush pile, and he's sitting there just fighting it somewhat. And you know how many times in another event you'd be looking at your watch like, I don't know how big this is. I'm just going to give up and break your, you pull your rod and you break your line.
Like
but he
18
knew how
minutes.
important just getting a bite.
Right.
That, he's like, I saw it on my graph. It's probably a keeper. I get the bite. Yes. Oh, great. It's wrapped up. And he sat there and held it tight, kind of lifted his rod, pulled on it a little bit. And you can see his rod when he had hold it still. It was still on there. That fish was still biting or still fighting. And 5 minutes later, it comes out of the brush and he lands it. And it's like 1 pound, 3 ounces.
Yeah.
And between that and the one he caught with 10 seconds left in the round, he's got a 2.5 pound lead or something on his matchup against Ray Hanselman. That's those 2 fish.
Dude, that's awesome.
It was extremely exciting. He was not disappointed to see that 1-3 either. He was pumped.
He said it, and people might think that it's crazy. He said that when he caught that fish. When he caught both of them, he said it. When he landed that one from the brush pile, he was like, might sound weird, but this could be a Bassmaster Classic winning fish.
Yeah.
And people are like, whoa, you got to even get there. But if he gets there, he's going to remember part 1 of the semifinal bracket when he had a lead because he caught 2 small fish that might seem insignificant in another event, but they got him to the big dance and maybe $300,000 if he wins that. You just don't know. That's
could
what's
be
awesome
the spawn of the deal. Right?
Sometimes the
right
Dinkler will take you to the dance.
Absolutely. Well, you talk. Let me put it this way. Let's put it this way. Okay, let's get this out of the way. So, hey, you've seen the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High, right?
Yeah, pieces and parts and whatnot.
What's your favorite scene from that?
I mean, there's so many that come to mind that it's just, they all just remind me of my high school time,
Well, what's your favorite scene, Ronnie?
I can't dial one in, you know what I'm saying? Especially where I'm at, in life and also on location. They all make for the good experience.
I understand that you will not say when the girl comes out of the swimming pool.
Wouldn't be
that's
appropriate.
everyone's favorite scene.
He's in a church,
I thought
man.
that was
Come
the
on.
only scene. That's the only one they ever show on any kind of remake commercials.
Yeah.
That's the one that they want everyone to see.
This is my most memorable scene. And Jeff Spicoli, one of my heroes in life, him and Albert Einstein.
I know that dude.
Yeah. Jeff is failing miserably at world history. So Mr. Hand shows up to to Jeff Spicoli's house. As Jeff is in mid-bong rip, Mr. Hand, his teacher, decides to give him, let him finish out his history class and pass his class. So what now this is where you got to start listening. The rest was nonsense. This is the important part, Mr. Moore, right here. Spicoli says, see, what that Jefferson dude was trying to say is, we left England because it was bogus. And if we don't get some cool rules pronto ourselves, well, we're just going to be bogus too. Do you get it? Is what Spicoli says. Now, my question to you is, how does that relate to the world of bass fishing right now?
I normally spell bass fishing with the letters RULES because it's all about rules.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to take it from there.
Oh, okay. That blew me away. Philosophical, Ronnie. That was very good. That was very good. Philosophical,
JP
Ronnie
perplexed.
came back. But what I'm saying is, let's not necessarily, we could replace the word rules. The word rule could be replaced with change. Okay?
Okay.
So if we don't get some change pronto, it's not going to be cool. Is that what happened with the mass exodus? Was it like Jeff Spicoli? Did he have a premonition in Fast Times at Ridgemont High of what was going to happen in the bass fishing world in 2018? Was he Nostradamus, actually?
Hey, you can say he was, and no one can say you're wrong.
That's right. It's our show, damn it.
Say, it's your show.
Yeah.
If you think he's right, he's right.
Yes, Spicoli was right. Okay, so how do you think that could relate? The world of bass fishing. We need change.
I think change is good. I think change is good. We see it every day, and I've equated the last couple months of bass fishing as 2 gas stations or a Walgreens and a CVS for folks in the South that know that they park each other right across the street every time as competitors. Mm-hmm. Gas stations do the same thing. One of them's $2.50. The other one's $2.50. One day they get a load of gasoline for a little bit cheaper, so they lower the price to $2.45. Boom, they get a bunch of business. Now they're out of that $2.45 gas. They got to get more. People across the street see it. They change their price a little lower, and it's that competition where you don't want to just voluntarily let your customers go across the street to a gas station. So you've got to adapt and change too. Now, whether they all of a sudden like the way those chips taste or the cashier that checks them out when they pay, to each their own on that. But I do believe change is good. I think that no matter how big the changes are, there's changes every single month, every single year. Just not all of them are as impactful as fans or people want to make them out to be. But even the smallest of changes end up going unnoticed and lead to one big change. And they're like, people are like, whoa, where did that come from? I just saw this on Facebook for the first time in months. Holy cow. Well, there's been changes behind the scene working up to that point. And so some of those small changes never get noticed or the love that a huge crazy change like that does.
So let me ask you this, okay, in regards to the change and in regards to the 2 gas stations. The one gas station across the street, it had the money the whole time to not where they could have made the change. The customers didn't have to leave to go across to the other gas station. Well, that seems to be the topic of discussion these days. What did this gas station do?
Well, I would say that people, you go to a restaurant and they have a sign on the window that says under new management. For a month or so, they'll do it, and you're like, oh, okay, there's going to be some new people. Maybe this place that wasn't so good is going to change for the better. Or, my favorite mom and pop shop's got a new manager. Hopefully they keep the tradition going of what it was.
Sure.
But at a gas station or other businesses, they don't voluntarily put out there under new management. So people see the same logo or the same whatever brand gas station it is, the chain, a franchise of that, and they're not going to see that they're under new management because everything's running along, chugging along like a train, like normal. Everything seems status quo, but there has been new management. So I'd say that for the people who are like, man, that gas station should have changed a long time ago to benefit the people who were driving by, I would honestly say that maybe they didn't know exactly what was going on with the management behind the scenes, or that there was a brand new manager that didn't know there was a need to lower the price of gas, and now all of a sudden it looks like they're not doing it for the right reasons, but really they're still getting a gauge of the community and how much they want their gas at or what they like about certain gas stations. And so we're obviously talking around the point, but I would definitely.
Yeah, this analogy
I'm
has gone.
Completely honest with y'all about that. I believe that it's totally that situation where people see a logo or a company that's been around for a long time and think that it's just they just pulled it out of nowhere. Whereas there's new people that have invested in the organization and taken it over, or the company, and now they see, well, we didn't know the situation that the industry might be in. Now it's time for us to do what we think's right and make a change. We're still businessmen. We need to do what's right for us, but at the same time, still getting a gauge on what, the business that they bought or the state of gas prices in America.
and let's beautiful job, Ronnie. Well, by the way,
That's just a poker.
Yeah, that was a man. So here, my favorite. Let's put it this way. Again, let's keep with the analogy. I like it. So, I love that gas station, FLW gas station. I love it. I love the MLF gas station. I absolutely love it. I love that BASS gas station.
It's a good gas station.
But I'm going to be honest with you. When I close my eyes and I think of professional bass fishing, the logo, the emblem of the gas station that I see is BASS. Mm-hmm. It is. To me, it's the strongest emblem or sign of professional bass fishing.
It's the Amico of bass fishing.
It's the British Petroleums. It's the BPs.
Yeah.
But when it really isn't. And again, believe me, man, I watch every MLF that's out there. I watch every FLW derby. I pay attention to all professional bass fishing. But how I grew up, that logo, that BASS logo that is all over this room, along with the MLF and FLW logos throughout this room, that one stands in my head. The BASS logo is the one on my Christmas tree. Okay.
Yeah. I had that one carved into a piece of wood by my buddy.
There you
None
go.
of the other ones.
I mean, it's so Bass has that strength. With this change that we talk about in professional bass fishing and in the gas station world right now, BASS has that strength. That's a tough nut to crack right there, ain't it?
It is. I mean, and it's also one that you grew up in the same small town back when they didn't have credit card swipes at a gas station, and you've been going there, walking inside, handing them your $20 bill, walking out, and they turn the pump on for you.
Yeah.
And now you see them progress, and they have credit card swipes now.
Right.
And now they're all of a sudden, now they have 17 lanes of pumps instead of the 3 or 4. But you see them change over the years, but you still have that tie and that connection to one because that's what you grew up doing. You made sure you stopped there on the way home to get gas because there was a certain amount of miles from your house. You didn't want to run out on your way back out of town to pass the gas station. And I'm with you. I'm a bass head. I watch it all. That's why I talk so much. That's why I do this every single day, all day. When I'm not on Bass Live, it's Bass Live wherever Ronnie's at. It's Bass Live out on the water when I'm fishing an event on my own. This is what I do, and that's why I think it's the greatest sport in the world, is because every day is a brand new day and nothing gets old.
That's awesome,
The best
Ronnie.
5 fish
Listen to the
may
passion.
sound dull and old, and maybe it's a format that's been around forever, but that 5 fish search changes every day. So I don't think that our industry can get stale or dull from what people say. But those are people looking for something to critique it on because everything gets dull and old. People get tired of the NBA scoring 120 points a game. They like it when it was 66 to 55 and it was hard to score points. Yeah. Same thing with the NFL. They liked when they could sack the quarterback and not get in trouble for it. Things change. There are times where there's ebbs and flows, something for someone to complain about. But I think that as an industry, it is growing and getting better. And you can tell that by looking at the Bassmaster High School Series, that there are 300 to 400 boat events, that there are people taking kids out to fish that aren't even related to them. but rather they fish a club and they have a junior Bassmaster club underneath of them, and they weigh in at the same time. Now the kid says, hey, would you take me out for this high school tournament coming up? Sure. Same thing. You go to college. There's so many boat fields. I mean, we did our Bassmaster college tour this year. I think 3 of the 4 events, maybe 4 of the 5, had over 200 boats. Like, that's how you know the pulse of the sport, is that
That's what they're calling the growth.
Yeah, and
growth, because that's going to be the same people who decide to fish the local derbies and they're the hammers in their hometown, or the ones that take the step to the opens or the coastas or whatever the semi-pro series they choose. And they're the ones who are the ones buying all the stuff in the future. They're the kids fishing in those things might have daddy's rig right now, and that's held against kids across the country, and it drives me nuts.
Right.
Because every single father in America would let their kid run whatever boat that they had in their disposal, whether it's brand new, whether it's an 18-footer. That's what I grew up with, was an 18-footer. So anyone who's like, oh, that guy's using dad's boat, I was using dad's boat. You just didn't think I was because it wasn't the biggest, brand newest boat.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone gets helped out at a certain point to get to where they're at. So I think seeing that growth, the willingness of older folks in the industry to help out younger folks, to teach them, to get them to that point. And we always, one of the best things I've heard over the last 2 months is we get all of our ruffles feathered over 15,000 people or 50,000 people that love every second of bass fishing. But there are millions that fish. And I'd say 80% of the people that watch bass fishing are still trying to learn how to catch a bass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the ones that aren't trying to are kidding themselves, because everyone can learn. But that's the goal, is teaching people to fish, no matter what the level is, the age level, the skill, how you put out content. It's teaching people how to fish. And I think that hasn't been removed from the center of the sport, but maybe it's put over to the side a little bit. Now there's 2 things in the center, but that's always going to be a standard staple. And that's why you say bass is the one in your head. My dad put a fishing rod in my hand, but he's been a lifetime member since the 70s or 80s. And he's the one who took me out on the lake, and that sticker was on the windshield. And so I'll always be forever grateful, no matter if I go and become an accountant next year. Bassmaster probably put a rod in my hand at some point or another. And I'll always be forever grateful, because they introduced me to a sport that I love dearly and will do whatever I can for.
That's awesome. Hey, last thing about the change in professional bass fishing right now, and we'll move on. Bass is going to need a catalyst. We talked about catalysts earlier in the show. Bass is going to need one. They're going to need an elevation, because obviously the focus will be on the Bass Pro Tour. I mean, not 100%. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean that to sound the wrong way, but that's where, hey, that's the new sheriff, or supposedly.
It's the shiny.
That's the Reggie Hammond.
Room.
Yeah. So what's the catalyst? What can Bass do to bump this up? Long term, instantly, short term, midterm? What are they going to do?
So the sport consists of organizations that have individuals within them, and those individuals are the ones that are highly skilled and the best at their craft.
Okay.
We have a major responsibility to take what they do and what they say from the water and share it with the masses.
Gotcha.
I think this is where the organizations prove what they're all about when no one's looking. So I think, and that's not
I don't know what that means.
Language or verbiage, but what I'm trying to say is these guys are going to become superstars if they're good enough.
Okay.
If no one talks about you, back when there was no TV shows or YouTube, people became known for being good at fishing just by being good at fishing.
Right.
But now we're in an age where we got to tell as many people about these special anglers. And I think that's exactly the 600-pound gorilla on everyone's chest, is how good you can do that. So we're just going to do what we do. I don't think it's a specific catalyst that, like, we need to make this change to take it to the next level. But I think that next level's there, and we've touched it a lot throughout the last 13 years or 14 years of the Bassmaster Elite Series. And I think you'll see how many times we touch it next year because we have so many new anglers, so many motivated anglers still there. I think we're going to tell a lot of cool stories that haven't been told over the past couple years of anglers that they're the hammers in their hometown. And they're putting it together on the national scene. They've probably won big events on other trails, and they have just a cool story. So telling those stories is what we do. And I think how quickly we make some of those names into those household stars will prove the guns that I'm hiding under this shirt.
Hey, the beach is that way, Ronnie Moore. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah. No, it's all directions. Don't worry.
Well, Brian the Carpenter and I, the Captain Caveman and the Carpenter Production Company, we came up with that new series that is probably going to be the catalyst for BASS. We've already given it to you guys, so we're cool like that. But that's Grows and Flows. So it's Chris Grow and Seth Feider's new show that's coming out. Bros and Hoes, Grows and Flows. I don't know what it's going to be called. But there it is. So, boom, you're right. That's kind of like you're going to highlight more personalities of anglers, give them more opportunities to shine. That's the catalyst.
I think that's the catalyst, but I think that people underestimate. I'm not going to say, I don't want to say like you were underrated, but I think people underestimate the power of the individuals that work for Bassmaster. I get to work beside these guys. I see their passion daily. I see that they've never had a biased judgment bone in their body. Obviously, over 20 years, you'll come into contact with people that don't like you or don't like me.
That's on them.
As long as you just let it roll off your back, it'll be fine. So there's people that have obviously clashed with others, but overall, I've never felt better from where we are. And that's not putting on a strong face for the public on straycast.net, but this is literally what I was made for. I'm so excited for the next.
I can tell.
Look.
I can tell.
I'm excited.
Set it straight, right?
You got Tommy Sanders.
Yeah. Thank you.
Tommy Sanders.
I work with a freaking hero.
Here's some bad news.
You stand next to him.
Here's some bad news. Speaking of Tommy Sanders, I'm glad you guys brought that up. I think we need to address, as you called it, the 600-pound gorilla in the room, or the elephant in the corner.
Well, he's going to take Joe Buck's spot.
Well, we all know that Tommy is knocking it out with those male enhancement ads in Japan. The billboards, the commercials, everything. The guy's a megastar in Japan.
It's going to be a long-established run.
Bigger than Hasselhoff. So let's talk about the inevitable. Tommy's going to leave you guys in the dust. I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I could see Tommy going to a foreign island.
Exactly. Well, Tommy was raised by wolves in the South Pacific.
In the rest of his life. No, I'm just kidding. Tommy is...
he'd be fine.
Tommy is a Hall of Famer for a reason. I work with the guy daily. People always joke on Bass Live that I'm here to take his job. I'm trying to pull the table out from under him, poison his drink, get him sick, whatever the case may be.
We heard all those.
I'm sitting there in Springfield, Missouri at the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame watching him give a selfless speech of him getting inducted into the Hall of Fame and saying it's because he's worked with so many specific great people over the years, and he points them out and calls them out and says stories about them. And after the 5 to 10 minute story, Tommy, you didn't even talk about yourself. And that's the way he is. And it has me in tears because I get to work with the dude, and he's been nothing but a consummate professional. We always say that about anglers. Is that guy really the same guy we see on camera? Is he the same way off camera?
We see
Tommy's
that a lot.
That dude. He is the same way on camera.
Tommy's my hero, bro.
He's a pro.
I mean, seriously, Tommy is my freaking hero, bro. I love that guy.
There are very few people in the world that have been in as many living rooms of outdoorsmen as him or ever will be. And I love that he set that bar so high because, like I said earlier, I got 30 years. Like, in 60 years, if I can do what he's done, I'll feel at peace with my life because he has set that bar so high that I get to chase that bar, not chase Tommy's, illusion or, his legacy, but I get to create my own in a whole different environment of bass fishing. And when that day comes, it'll be super sad that he's not doing it anymore. But I think he would have equipped everyone in the studio, behind the scenes that we've worked with. I think we will not be like, oh no, Tommy's leaving. How could he do this to us? But I'm glad that you spent as much time with us in the trenches as you have. And
he's the best. He's the best. And but again, hey, dude, if you're making 8 figures on a commercial in Japan, you're gonna leave BASS too. So
you can afford all those plastic surgeries to keep him looking young.
Plain and simple. Yeah.
This is in all honesty though, not to beat this down too much, but my buddy said to me the other day, like, the Bassmasters isn't gonna be the same. And I'm like, as long as Tommy Sanders is talking, it's going to be the same for me. If he's giving the commentary and guys are fishing, that's the Bassmasters.
I'm sorry to say, but here it is. JP, did you want to say something before
I don't know. I don't know. Ron is bringing it.
Ron is bringing it. Well, thank you.
Really bringing
thank you very much.
Just listening him talk tonight.
Yes.
Straycast.net.
Yeah. He is amazing.
JP's been wide-eyed for the last 40 minutes.
He's blown my mind with just the analogy thing, how he's bouncing around this stuff. It's incredible.
That gas station analogy was incredibly impressive. I wouldn't have been able to brought it back.
It was amazing.
To the gas station.
It was amazing.
After all that.
Ronnie, Tommy's leaving. You're going to have some more.
He's not leaving.
Tommy's leaving. He called me before the show because of the commercials in Japan.
Is he going to do Bass Live tomorrow? Though?
He'll be there tomorrow. Everything's cool. Okay. Yeah, no, the rest of the season's fine.
Everybody tune in.
No, tune in tomorrow, Bass Live. Bassmaster.com. Everything's fine. Tommy's good the rest of the year. He just kind of told me to bring it out gradually that he's leaving. You know what I mean? Because of
what's great is that means I have like 2 more months to put a tape recorder on his desk and just have him tell me everything.
Well, let's practice together right now. This is what we're going to do. We're going to practice together. So you're going to have a lot more responsibilities, Ronnie, in when Tommy goes. And I need you to be just better than you are, as you said at the beginning of this interview, okay? So I'm going to give you some scenarios, and you need to give me a description of those scenarios that happen and draw upon your spirit animal, Tommy Sanders, as you do this, okay? So I need you to create and announce a play-by-play type thing, all right? And wait for – I'm going to even give you music for this. This is going to be amazing, okay? So – here is the first scenario. This is a triumphant scenario. The first scenario is Seth Fighter catches a 6-pound bass and is on his way to win his first Bassmaster Classic.
Gosh.
Get it, Ronnie Moore. You're on.
He was just the long-haired guy from I already bossed it.
Keep
he
going.
was just long-haired guy from Minnesota that no one knew and everyone misunderstood. But we saw that breakthrough at the Mississippi River. Second place finish, just coming up short. Next week, turned it around, won his first Bassmaster Elite Series event in dramatic fashion. Laughing field, his home fishery of flags. We've seen him create a persona for himself over the years. The Fighter Man, the Flow. He has all kinds of nicknames, but now know him as the most clutchest angler in the sport. With that 6-pounder, he will take it to the scales, win his 16th Bassmaster Elite Series event, and go in, stamp his name into his legacy in concrete.
Wow! Stamped in what do you think, audience?
If I had the fish catch, though, I'd have to know the bite. It would be so much better.
Hold on.
If I visually could see it and the emotion.
There's more. There's more. I'm going to give you a chance. You did well.
Stumbling.
You can do better. You can do better, Ronnie Moore. You can do better. You know you can. Here's your chance for redemption. Now, Chris Zaldane. Okay. He's got a 4-pound spotted bass on. He's in a very, very tough derby on Lake Mead. He's fighting this fish so delicately with the 2-pound line, and it comes off, which surely means he has lost the tournament and his first Angler of the Year title because of this lost 4-pound spot. Take it, Ronnie Moore. You're on.
Chris Zaldane's worked his whole life to get to this point. This fish, this moment, his whole season was riding on that catch. And it's just like fishing. It's not catching for a reason. The fish gets away, and this will not cement the legacy of Chris Zaldain. We've only seen a glimpse. That 4-pounder is just a speed bump in the road. Second in Angler of the Year, we know that he's going to have plenty other shots at taking that Angler of the Year title. This is just the tip of the iceberg for Chris Zaldain. So when he sees this fish catch or fish loss in this situation, don't let it get you down, Chris. Use it as motivation that you had an important fish on.
I'm sorry. Don't let it get you down, Chris. That was great. It was like you sounded like who's that guy?
Don't let the brown man.
Bobby Boucher. Don't let it get you down, Chris. That's awesome.
That was good.
That was really good, Ronnie. You're doing good.
What's bad? Okay, so I'm 25.
Yeah.
My voice may or may not have dropped a little bit, like 3 or 4 years ago. Like, I don't have the octaves, the silky smooth voice that Tommy has, but I've got time.
Yeah, no,
so in 5 years,
dude,
I might have a tone.
I thought the tone was great.
He owned it and he commanded that performance. He did.
Completely commanded.
He did.
Ronnie,
we got one more for
stage.
you. He had the stage.
It was the stage and you.
We have one more
you
for
and
you.
The stage.
Ronnie, you've been covering this guy all week on Bass Live. He's a legend of the sport. His name is Rick Clunn. He's leading the event all 3 days. You've been covering him today, this final day, on Bass Live. He's only caught one fish. At the end of the day, you're still covering him. He throws the fish back. What do you say to Rick Clunn on the final day of this derby?
Rick Clunn's been through many moments in his bass fishing career. So many classics, so many highs, so many lows. Looking back, he may regret throwing that fish back. But under the pressure of that moment, he did what he thought was best for him in his career. This is not his swan song. And that bass fish is the last one we see him with on Bassmaster Live. It is. We pray it does not tarnish his legacy as a legend that he rightfully earned.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Ronnie Moore.
He's bringing it back.
Yes. It has.
We made it through it. Let's just say we made it through it. We didn't dominate that, but we made it through it. But basically the whole Tommy thing, he's got 27 octaves, and they're all silky smooth. I've got 2. Excited and really excited. So those will come. Those lower octaves will come.
Can I do one for Ronnie?
That tender moment about Chris Zaldain.
He was. Yeah, that was super.
That started
It would
out
have to
very
start
smooth.
with like the sigh as soon as the fish came off and he like fell in the bottom. It would be like, and then you start with it. That would have that would have been. I heard that. That's not how it was.
Hey, let me try one for Ronnie. Let me do a triumphant Ronnie Moore one.
Why can't I set that scenario up for you? You set them all up for me. I wish I had.
Okay,
these notes.
Good point.
Yes, very good. What happened to my headphones?
They're on your head.
Hello. There we go. Okay. Yeah, something happened. It was crazy. It was the Gazoo from the Flintstones.
Your ears popped from the elevation.
Yes, he's the amazing Ronnie Moore. Ronnie, so give me a scenario. Go ahead.
Well, see, I didn't have one prepared.
That's okay. Neither did I. I make this shit up. Come on, Ronnie.
First and second place.
Get it.
Ounces apart. They tangle on the final day and show up on the same starting spot with the same intentions of catching the 5 biggest bass in the lake. And now all of a sudden, the rods are down and the boats are bumping.
Like it.
These guys are about to throw down. How do you commentate the fight?
Hey, everybody. Pat Renwick here, live BASS. Kind of a situation here that we don't want to see too often. But, yeah, Mark Davis and David Fritz, they have stripped down to their underwear. It looks like David Fritz is on Mark Davis's deck. They are both in sumo gear. They are bouncing rapidly off of each other's bellies, apparently over sharing a spot. Now, it seems that Mark was there first. I don't know how this is going to handle. It's going to be a sumo off to the death. Keep it locked right here, Bassmaster Live. America runs on Mercury.
That was great.
Thanks.
You might replace Tommy when
I'm a
he goes.
freaking natural, dude.
You might replace Tommy when he goes.
America
I'll just
runs
stay where
on
I'm-
Mercury.
That's good.
I'll just stay where I'm at with.
I thought they
Suits.
shortened it to
That's-
Merc
that's
now.
the
Yeah.
slide you-
Don't worry, man. I'm a pro. I just don't look like it. It's the only problem.
We see crankbaits and menaces flying as these two tussle.
Yes, they tussle in the air. Level wind reels tangled aimlessly over their heads. I said level wind. Did you see how I did that?
Like that.
Brought it back.
I mean, I'm not kidding. I knew it.
Ronnie, I knew it. Talk knew it. There he was, right there, dude. I'll tell you what, man. I'm having a great time with you, Ronnie. I think we're going. We started it. You know what? I want to play another game with you because I'm having fun. I don't care.
I have no idea what the Facebook questions. I'm just looking at you on the screen and Skype, so I don't know if anyone's. I don't know how your fans are taking me now.
I don't.
They're watching.
Yeah, they love you, Ronnie. America runs on Ronnie. That's what. That's what I'm talking. So you have a very famous last name. Moore. A lot of famous people over history have the last name Moore. And you've played the game. You've played along with the game Jeopardy at home, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's play famous Moors. You want to play?
Sure.
Or you got to go? Oh, cool. We'll play. Sounds great.
Oh, no, I don't have to go. I'm thinking,
Isn't it Moops?
famous Moors.
See how I answered for you? So what we'll do? You got to answer in what is it? What is you answer in question form? Okay,
Yes.
let's do that.
What is yes?
Yes. What is yes?
Yeah.
What is yes? Here we go. So these are famous Moors. This famous Moor was the drummer for the Canadian power trio Triumph.
Jesus. He's 25.
Do you know?
What is slash more?
Good guess.
Sorry, that was a left. That was
music is not my category. It is the last. I don't even know the song titles of my favorite songs that I sing daily. I have no. I'm terribly music.
well. Your dad told me that you have Britney Spears' "Gimme More" in your CD player.
It's definitely on my Instagram story because you guys posted on it.
He doesn't have a CD player. Do you
But,
have a CD player?
I'm sorry.
I do have it in my truck.
Okay.
That question was left over for Dave Mercer because he's Canadian.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Ronnie. Thanks for filling in, by the way.
I don't go above the border rarely, and then I also don't know music. So that was
You don't listen to 80s bands from up there?
All right, let's try.
What was it? There's the. Oh,
Bryan
man, my
Adams?
dad loves one Canadian band that's a rock band. I can't remember.
Neil
It's
Young,
like- it's
ABBA.
Rush.
No,
Huh?
it's got to be Rush with Gil Moore.
Yeah, Rush.
Yeah, that's Rush is Gil Moore. That's why your dad likes him because that's
Okay.
really your uncle, but he didn't tell you because you don't
Okay.
get the money until you're 29.
Is it Gil with one L or two L's? Because if it's two L's, I could see it. If it's one, I don't know.
The
It's
drummer
one-
of Rush's
it's one
name
L.
is not Gilmore.
The drummer of Rush? I mean, Triumph. It is, dude. Triumph.
Okay, why are you saying Rush?
The Canadian power trio Triumph.
That's Neil Peart.
Neil Peart is from Rush. Slapping the bush.
Who's on first?
Slapping the bush. Okay, so here's a good one.
Hey.
Are you ready? Let's play some
Let's
more
get wild and
famous
wacky.
Moors with Ronnie Moore. Step right up, kiss the bearded woman. Right now, this American documentarian filmmaker is a supersize Moore.
I'm terrible at this.
These are your kin, bro.
I don't know. What is?
Do we have
I don't even know. What is Stephen Moore? I have no idea.
Stephen Moore is exactly wrong.
It's close.
Do we have obnoxious buzzers? Let's obnoxious buzz him. That's way better. Way
Could have went
better.
with the Canadian
Bass
man,
fishing
too.
history, and I'd be okay. But
Okay,
holy-
here's a bass fishing question for you.
Oh gosh. Now if I get it wrong, I'm.
Three babes all have the last name Moore. These three babes all have the last name Moore.
Mary Tyler Moore. Or
Okay.
what is Mary Tyler Moore?
Okay, we'll give him that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was hot back then.
Yes.
That was there's actually
Three.
2 more. I was just thinking you were
There's-
tricking me with 3 names there.
No. Oh, but good job. Wow.
Um,
Smarter than us.
Definitely smarter than us.
names. I have no idea.
Demi
Who you
Moore.
consider
Demi
Jada?
Moore.
Know that.
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore.
Julian Moore. Mandy Moore.
Mandy Moore. Yeah.
Mandy Moore. I'm bagging this game.
She was popular.
I had
for a
enough
week.
of this game.
It's because
Ronnie,
I'm terrible. You would have kept going if I was actually competent at it, but I'm just letting you down.
you know who nailed it? Grigsby. There's a lot of famous Grigsbys out there, and Shaw Grigsby nailed it. He knew. Colonel Marcus Tom Parker Grigsby III from Athens, Georgia. He knew him.
Do you know who Dudley Moore is?
Yeah, he's on here too. He's
saw that.
this famous British
He doesn't
drunk.
know Dudley Moore. You know Dudley Moore?
Your
seen the movie
Your
Arthur?
dad
I
knew
know
all
one
these.
Dudley and his names.
All
That's
right.
the last.
Your dad knew. You know Roger Moore,
He's funny.
007.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
There it
And
is.
Bassmasters,
That's where
bro.
that bit just went down the toilet, right there. Ronnie, dude. Hey, man.
even yet.
I mean, I always have a great time whenever I talk to you, whether it's on the air, whether it's off the air. You are a real dude. You're what you see, what you get kind of guy, and I love that about you.